I started asking a very simple question. What do Palestinians want? Because every time they faced a choice, you can have a state. And all the things we were told, there will be an end to the occupation and no settlements, and you will have a capital in East Jerusalem, and you will get the holy sites. And I was like, how are you not taking it? And like I said, we projected the idea of Zionism on them, but not just Zionism. If you look at every movement for self-determination, a movement that claims to be a movement for liberation and self-determination, you don't have any example of a movement who again and again and again and again does not take the opportunity to have a state. So at one point you're saying, so I guess you're not a movement for self-determination and liberation. I guess you want something else. And that's when I met with Palestinians and I did the research that became the book, The War of Return. And I realized, again, to their credit, that when I listened to them directly, without West-plaining, without my wishful thinking, they basically told me, what are you doing here? You don't belong here. What? You're white European settler colonialist. You're the second Crusader state. It's really not a lot of people are aware of how the idea of Israel being the second Crusader state is so powerful in so much of the Arab discourse. Because not a lot of people know that, like, the Crusader state, from the moment it was established, was under Arab Islamic attacks until it was over. And, and Salah ad-Din is an important figure because he got rid of the Crusader state. So when people say that Israel's the second Crusader state, it's synonymous with white European settler colonialists. It's all about saying, you don't belong here. Get out. What are you doing here? It's like you have no historical connection. It has nothing to do with you. Get out of here. And as I'm sure you know, the foundational story of Zionism is that we do belong here. But this is our home. This is our home as a people. Like, yeah, you can live in other places, but collectively, this is our only home. So these are such opposing views that they say we're foreigners, and we say not only are we not foreigners, we are indigenous to the land. And I have a colleague who's publishing this great book, Ben Freeman, called The Jews and Indigenous People. And he explains what it means to be indigenous, because a lot of people think that being indigenous is just living really long time somewhere. But that doesn't make you indigenous. Indigenous is when your entire culture, your entire civilization, your calendar, your holidays, your language, your idioms, how you mark time are connected to a place. And in that sense, the Jews are a prototype of an indigenous people, like the holidays, the calendar, everything. So it's just two opposing stories between us feeling that this is our home and our neighbors telling us, get out of here. This, you're foreigners. So that's when I realized that it's much deeper than what I thought. Like, we are two people. We need to share the land. Let's figure out where to draw a border. They were basically telling me, get out.
There's no sharing land with them. And I think that's what many Westerners, especially today after what happened in Iran, many Americans don't understand. And just like you said before, we the Druze have been saying it for a long time. Listen to what they say. When they call Israel the small Satan and they call America the big Satan, this was not invented now. If you look at the times of Salah ad-Din, I grew up admiring Salah ad-Din like many, many other kids who grew up in the Arab culture. He was a very impressive man. But Salah ad-Din's beef fight was not with the Jews. The Jews were a nuance. They were like a small group that was oppressed, living under very, very oppressive kind of Islamic rules, and out of the way. The real fight was with the Muslim crusade, with the Christian crusade, with the Christian world. Why is that? Because the Christians were the only ones stopping them from dominating and controlling planet Earth and making it a very dark place. And until today, the Christians are the one who is holding them at bay, if you think about it, Europe and America. And that's why I keep telling to many of my American European friends, guys, you're next. If they take down Israel, that's like the big, kind of flag. We were the one that crushed the Crusades here, and now we're going to go and flood into Europe.